It's a new day, and I'm gonna see if I can't delete this EGR garbage on this little motor. Pick this EGR block-off plates up from this company called Yoda One. I believe it's Yoda One Performance, and I bought their stuff. This is not sponsored or nothing. They just made a good kit, and so I ordered it. I'll drop the link to this kit if you're interested in the description below, but I'm gonna try to de-smog this garbage a little bit and see if we can't get this truck running. And this is just a off-road only vehicle, so don't call the government on me and say I'm deleting emissions, doing nothing illegal. This is for off-road use only. So anyways, now that I got out the way, let's dive into it and see if we can't get this thing desmogged. I'm no expert by any means. I've never even worked on a Toyota before, so do what I do at your own risk. I have desmogged a few engines in my day, so it's relatively all the same idea. Just take all this crap off that they put on. It looks like somebody at some point already started trying to desmog this motor. And I'm just going to finish the job. That's out of there. Now, we got a little more room. This, I have no clue what that is. But obviously it's not important because it ain't hooked up. So, I'm going to leave it alone here for now and go ahead and start taking this smog pump off, air pump, whatever you want to call it. Got all the bolts loose, but can't get that bolt out because of the fan shroud. So I'm gonna go get the old slice and dice. No match for the slice and dice. That's hot. All right, come on. Get out of your home. Guess I'll have to get a bigger hammer. There we go. Bigger hammer always does the job. One more piece of garbage out of there. Now I'm gonna tackle this actual EGR valve. See if I can't get it out of there, but I might not be able to see it too well because of the angles. It's just 3 bolts and it comes right out. Well, I lied. I'm not gonna take the EGR valve off first. I'm gonna go ahead and unbolt this little thing right there. Don't know the name of it. Don't really care, but it's attached to the EGR. and it's got to come off first in order for that EGR to come off there. But it's two 12mm bolts, and then comes right off. So when we get that popped off, then we can take the EGR off. Make sure you save all your hardware. You never know if you'll need it. These bolts are a little difficult to see. It's hard to get to. Well, I'm having a little bit of trouble getting to this bottom bolt on this EGR, so I'm just going to remove this EGR canister. Lose my light in the process, but that'll give me a little bit more room to work. Alright, let's see if I can get to this bottom bolt now. Oh yeah, I can see it clear as day now. Alright, there she's going. Alright, EGR garbage out of there. I apologize if this is kind of hard to see, but right there where you see that open hole is your back EGR port. I'm just gonna clean it off a little, some brake clean, and the kit I bought from Yoda One Performance came with a new gasket, so go ahead and put a new gasket on there, that way it don't leak. Alright, I got my block off plate. There's the part number if you're interested. Yoda One Performance, and I ordered it with new gaskets. So let's see if we can't get this thing on here. Luckily there was a stud there on the back to hold it off for us. I'm trying not to block the camera so you guys can see. And just torque that back down. And easy as that, you got your rear EGR deleted and blocked off. This install is going to be a little harder for you to see, but you can see down there where it's kind of shiny looking in that hole, that's the plate we're going to be blocking off. And that's the part number on the plate if you want it. And we're using new gasket, new hardware. So let's get this one bolted on. Just torque her down, not overly torqued. Don't want to break nothing. Just want to make sure we get a good seal so we have no leaks. Alright, 2 block off plates installed, and oh, awesome. My light knows when, just when to die. Anyways, we got a lot of crap out of the engine bay, so hopefully a little less stuff to go wrong. And next order of business, I'm going to start getting this rest of this engine bay cleaned up and checking all our vacuum hoses and ports and seeing what can go and what needs to stay, and then throwing a battery in this thing, seeing if she'll fire up. It's been a few days since I filmed the last clip, and I made some changes. Biggest one being I swapped carburetors. After cleaning up the engine bay, I I rebuilt that stock carburetor twice, and just could not get it to run right. So it probably needs to be put in like an ultrasonic cleaner or something, and really sat in there for some time with some degreaser and carb cleaner. There's probably some passages that are clogged up. And anyways, I don't got time to mess with it right now. So I ordered this Weber 32 or 3632 clone. I'll drop the link to it in the description below. I bought it off Amazon for less than $100. And I slapped that thing on there, and now this little motor runs great. And when you swap to this Weber style carb, you can delete way more vacuum lines and continue to clean up this engine bay and get all that smog and EGR garbage out of here. So if you daily drive one of these little trucks, I would say buy the actual Weber carb, just because it's better quality and you're gonna have good reliability with it. But if this is just a little fun truck or a weekend truck or a woods truck, whatever you use it for, this little Chinese carb has been working just fine. I put it on and it fired right up. I tuned it just a little bit, just a little tiny tweak, but honestly I probably could have ran it how it was. But I just, when you smash the throttle down, it would you know, there's a little bit of a dead pedal, and I just tuned that out. But overall, it cleaned up this engine bay. I'm glad I did the EGR delete, got rid of all that garbage. You can see just one vacuum line to it, your fuel hose, and then if you want electric choke, well, that's it. That's all you got to hook up. It comes with the stuff to mount it to your stock throttle cable bracket. And yeah, took me about an hour to install. You do have to buy an adapter plate. You can buy those on Amazon as well. I'll link that as well. I think I paid $60 for the adapter plate. But overall, huge improvement over the stock carb that has 15,000 vacuum lines that go to it that will surely leave you stranded one day. Yeah, guys, hope this video helped y'all out. If you like it, hit that like button for me, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing some more content on this truck. And if you got a little truck that sits a while like this, you know, because this is just our little farm truck, I did find this solar panel charger again on Amazon. It was super cheap, but man, it has been keeping this battery perfect. Every time I come out here to crank it up, no problem starting. This is a old battery, and every time I'd come out here, it'd be dead and have to jump it off. But since I bought that thing, I've had literally no issues with this thing firing right up. And I mean, turn it off, crank it right back up. We'll drive it a little ways, and we use it to pick up sticks and stuff. I mean, probably turn that thing on and on 6-7 times, and the battery has been perfect. So cool little gadget if you got an old farm truck or any vehicle, I guess, lawnmowers, whatever, that's going dead on you when they sit for a while. Give one of those things a try. Might help you out. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.